All right. We're here with Will, Scion of Peace. It's the exact opposite of the black one, the black-red one, which is losing life. This is when you gain life. Your blue and white spells are discounted. So what's neat about that is you can play a bunch of things that gain life, and then tap this to discount one of these big spells to win the game really fast and out of nowhere. It's like, casting Revitalize. Where are you, Revitalize? There you are. Now, it costs 2 mana to cast this, so you really only get 1 for a discount, but, it's better than nothing, it's alright. It's like a build your own dark ritual. Fountain of Renewal is now a mana rock, right? Because it just gains you a life for the turn, and now all your spells are 1 less because of that, so it's pretty cool. And if you have more than 1 spell, it's more than just a single mana that it's generated. Now, for lands, I have Radiant Fountain. There is Tranquil Cove, and I think a couple others, the tapped lands that are blue-white, that gain you 1 life. There's no reason to run them. I see people that run Will, although there haven't really been many. Don't play the tap land. It doesn't net you mana. It's a tap land. If you play it in the first 3 turns, you're going to really wish it was any other land, so you could actually play your commander. And it doesn't net you mana, again, because it comes in tapped. And the life you gain off of it, yeah, if you have more than 1 spell to cast, then it's worth it, because it would have discounted twice. But even still, that's kind of asking for a lot, and I just don't find that realistic. So we're just not going to try that. Also, you'll notice this deck is all white, because that's where all the life gain is. Some of this is questionable, too. Like, Overseer might be better as something else that gains a little bit more, but it replaces itself, so I don't hate it that much. We're running all the Ajani's Pride Mates, because, again, life gain could just build an out-of-nowhere cheap threat. Teferi, because blue-white nonsense. There's another way I could do this is like, I'm not even sure how this works exactly, but if I were to untap this with a blue spell, one of the blue untap abilities or Icy Manipulator, and then tap it again, I don't think it just doubles down on the discount. I really don't know. Like, all the life you gain for the turn might be built up in the same ability, instead of like needing to tap this twice. I really can't test that because I'm not running anything that untaps it except Teferi, or this Teferi. We'll see if that ever comes up. Doubt it will. So yeah, for the top end, that's kind of where all the blue is, because once you get up to that point, it's kind of like the blue starts to become more important than the white. Just because the pound for pound, like the very powerful spells in blue are, a little bit stronger than the white ones, I would say. Zatalpa is not as good as Nezahal. That kind of logic, right? Omniscience is a cool card. I haven't played this one in, I think, ever. I've played it in, like, weird combo decks that get Omniscience in play. But, like, as a card to cast out of hand, I don't really think I've really done that before. And this is certainly the deck to try it. It's pretty neat. Obviously, discounting your pull from tomorrow's, your X spells is awesome. You just draw a bunch of cards. Sphinx's Revelation is also a trap, because you have to spend all your mana to draw a bunch of cards, and then your discount doesn't do anything, because all your mana is tapped into Sphinx's Rev. It is another one of these, right? But for now, I'm just doing these. I think this is just where I want to be. You could just replace this with Sphinx's Revelation. It's not like it's a true trap, because it's still doing the same thing you want it to do. It's just another one of these, effectively, with an incidental way to gain life. You could still, Sphinx's Rev for 2, and then have some mana left over to cast other spells after the fact. But that's just a lot of mana up front, and we're trying to cheese past that with the ability, right? So this commander has a science to it, and I feel like it might trap a lot of people who just like delve into it a bit blind. With that being said, I'm not playing any mana rocks, because I'm treating my life gain spells as mana rocks, essentially, with my commander in play. All of this hinges on my commander being in play. If that is not a reality I get to stay in, this is going to be really rough. And I think that's about it. Nothing spicy, nothing cute. No, that's it. Yep, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to more subscribers than I have now, and let's see how we do. Its counterpart. Oh, it's Feather. Oh. I don't have the card that does anything, so I guess I mulligan. Okay, I found it. I found it. It's just a matter of, does this do the thing? If it doesn't do the thing, this game is not a game. A tapped land in Feather? Whoa. That is wild. Okay. Yep. Just gonna play this. See what's going on here. Nah. Alright. Well, if they feather on 3, I can, like, win, maybe. I was gonna say, they really need to, like, not do that, but they did, so. Absolutely atrocious here. I did not want to see a second creature. It's not the worst ever, but it's not great. But it does mean Feather might not ever be in this game, though. Oh. Wow. Okay. Nice. No third land. Really nice. Oh, they did have Mox. I was wondering why they were getting strange pauses. If it's not a land, like, what is it? Okay, so let's... Schwing. And then I can play Teferi. I might actually win this. Hold on. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And don't think it matters here. Of what color? I gain 2. I can tap this and discount. Yeah, it just didn't matter. Didn't matter. Alright, that was their top deck. Okay, so they unfortunately found a position where they can leave up a mana, which is obviously horrendously bad for me. And they have something to do with it, because of course they do. But that's all this deck does. Alright, so let's lead with Wandering Emperor? Actually, this is pretty good. I get to exile that creature, and then if this all works out, I get to do something else as well. So does this work? Okay, the God's willing it. So no. But I do get to Reprobation Feather, which was the whole point of keeping this hand. And then you here. Like that. Oh, no, this isn't good, though. Because they get the... Oh, they didn't realize. They didn't realize. It's funny, I realized right when I cast it. I'm like, wait a minute. They get God's Willing back. And I'm pretty sure it comes back. It doesn't care where Feather is at this point, right? And then they target this with the God's Willing, give it protection from white, and this falls right off. Right? Now they don't get it again because it wasn't Feather while this was on play, but wow. So what I needed to happen actually happened, and my opponent had an out and they didn't see it. Jeez, with the islands. There's more plains than islands in here. For obvious reasons. I don't need that many blue sources. Guess I could change it a little. This is the only fairies, so there's like 12 changelings and 15 fairies or something like that. Also, the trigger isn't actually that big of a deal, but it's just blue-black tempo nonsense. Could be very problematic. It also, for the most part, kind of flies, right? So maybe I can quickly get the... how many you need? 10? Ugh, yeah, I don't know. If I can get this voice going, I guess I can win. But I have to, like, actually somehow do that. Which doesn't feel very realistic. But it's not impossible. Their commander has flash. I assume they will block with their commander, so I won't let them. Let's play you. Alright, surely there's no 700 fairies. There is ninja stuff too, which is annoying. This could just be a not fairy deck at all, and just be ninjas, because that's probably just better. But again, there aren't actually that many ninjas. So that's not too scary either. Okay. If I tap like this, I can play... If I tap like this, I can play Teferi. Okay. Oh, look, it's the same card that beat me last time. I guess I'm just gaining life. So, of these three, this one I'd missed the least. Elishnor's not looking too good either. But, yeah, let's just leave with this, because like, of all these things, this is the one I don't care about that much. Oh, wow, I actually drew a land. Look at that. Alright. Again, I don't really care about this. It's actually not really a good card. It's good here, it blocks, but it's not like, as a card itself isn't really that great. Unusual for them to have absolutely nothing. That's very strange. Don't know what that means. Maybe my opponent agrees. This is so bad it's not worth considering to kill. I will agree with you. Is that a... That's an actual fairy. Okay. Can certainly beat that one. Alright, this is another one that they probably really want to answer. You know what? Let's just play this one. It has Unleash. I can cast it later. Right. Just play from the bottom up, right? Play from the bottom up. Yeah, let's make some tokens. And then I can swing, but I also don't have to, because I don't know what that really does. I don't really have any vigilance. They killed something that can't block. That was interesting. That means a second removal spell, right? No, it doesn't. Really? Wow. Okay. Yeah, sure. You must have a counter spell sitting there, right? Like you're just not countering... No. Alright, I'm very, very surprised this is all happening. Don't really... The hand must be really bad. Which, was certainly not too upset with that one. I think it's better to just make more tokens. I don't find it reasonable to, like, sit on this to gain 3 life in 10 years. Just don't know why I would do that. Notably, Teferi will always live, even if I lose my angel. I've never seen this card in my life. I don't have much in the way of stopping that. Okay, surely I'll draw a land. Surely, right? It's impossible. Look at that. Okay, so Discover the Formula is pretty good here. It means I'm losing to Fairy, but, like, who cares? I'm playing Discover the Formula. Yeah. That just seems way too good. And then this is a free attack, so I'll take it. This is actually kind of hard. I like my whole... Alright, Gideon's not great. So this is pretty good at stopping everything for the rest of forever. You should never exact these Teferi when I have open mana. That just doesn't make sense. I can't punish it though. But you would never, ever, never swing like this. Actually, I would probably push all 4 into Teferi right here. Just full stop. Okay. So Dream Trawler. And then clench. They can't kill it, but they can tap it, which is very bad. Okay. Okay. I want to on Sarah's Wings this Trawler so it can swing and block. Let's play this first. This is actually probably a little bit better. Probably. I'm struggling. Alright, that's probably the worst card. A lot of choices to make. Okay, so... Yep. Teferi untaps this. So, Vigilance. Yes! Oh, man. Ooh, that's crazy. Oh no, mono black. Worst thing ever. We will uphold the light. Don't worry. Alright, this hand is hilarious, so... What does this do? Specialize? Hold on, what? Death Touch, and then it specializes into one of 5 things. Okay, that's pretty cute. Of these, this is probably better. I can get it going faster to do things with stuff. Why are they mousing over my land? That made me uncomfortable. Oh, man. Well, shoot. Well, shoot. So this is a good thing to leave or get rid of, like, forever. And I will play this. What does this do? Okay. I feel like I should always block here. Like, in what universe do I not block? Fine. You've convinced me. Oh. Of course. Punished if I do, punished if I don't. Just how the game works, right? Of course. God forbid. Yep. Let's see if I can keep poop on top. I can. That was just a complete whiff. Wow. Alright, so this has Vigilance. Do I play the One Ring? I am a gain a million life kind of deck, so, like, why would I not play this? Oh, look, it's one of the 2-mana removal spells we can't seem to avoid. Oh, shoot. No, I need a land. Well, shucks. Yup. I guess I can tap this before I scry? Doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. Really? You have Orcish Bowmasters? Come on. Why? This is historic Brawl. Only I'm supposed to have the dumb card. It's just so stupid. I feel like every time I go to do anything... Oh no, I just passed through my turn, didn't I? Okay, I almost did, but fortunately it got stopped by them targeting. I almost passed through my turn, though. Would have been absolutely tragic. Okay, so if I play this... Do I just play my commander? No, that doesn't make any sense. Let's play you... And... Nothing? If I play this, it dies, right? Yeah, that seems stupid. Okay, well, surely there's no discard spell to line up with everything completely perfect. Surely that's just not in the cards, right? They steal a land and a land. Alright, cool. They should probably play the island. Oh, they already played a land. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Why are they not playing their commander? Okay, there we go. There we go. Okie dokie. Well, play this. Farewell for creatures and graveyards. And I guess enchantments for no reason. And then pass. I already played my land. I don't need the One Ring. Though I do need to draw a land eventually. Teferi is very good with the One Ring. My opponent's in a position where they might just scoop if I, like, just do this, so... What I can do is... play a blocker? And then play Teferi. That was also pretty good. Actually, you know what? Elish Norn is just too good to pass up. And then, again, no reason to tap the One Ring unless it's super important. Oh, look. Another 2-mana removal spell. I can't seem to get rid of these. Can't seem to stop them, huh? Okay. Kind of weird. Yep. I think I'm in a bad spot, though. Well, I have Sublime Epiphany, so I guess I'm leaving that up. Can I leave it up if I play Teferi? No. Okay. Actually, I could have played this just to gain 4. I could have just done that. To not discard. Okay, let's play this. I'm probably going to have to bounce my own One Ring is the real problem here, though. That's like the really crappy situation I'm in. I think I have to bounce the One Ring. I don't think I can bounce their commander. Because the One Ring is going to kill me, right? Just going to kill me. Okay, counter, bounce, and draw. So we bounce this and we draw. Whoa, really? There's no way that was good enough. Like, I'm going to 9. Replaying the One Ring for a turn cycle doesn't save me. It buys me a fair amount of time. And I assume my opponent's hand is, like, removal or something, because they don't seem to be doing much. I mean, they cast this just now, but there's no lands. There's even an argument to, like, emergency powers and then just not do anything. Although, I think I would always at least play this once to just get the protection cycle. And just having it in play for tapping later is totally reasonable. But I really don't think I would scoop here. Now, they didn't know about this Gear Hulk. It would have given me another Epiphany. And it also, I guess, would have blocked. Although it would have just died, but... Wow, I've never seen this commander. I've never seen this commander. Neat game, though. Kind of neat. Okay, after like 90 minutes of just suffering, I've taken out even more things that don't really like gain life in any reasonable way, or there's like payoffs for gaining life, and I'm struggling very severely to actually gain life. So I've taken out some of the goofy angels and the cleric stuff to add more life gain up front. So we have Blessed Alliance. I just haven't crafted it. Blessed Alliance, Renewed Faith, just things that can net me mana with my commander in play, and then even stuff like this just nets me 2 when it enters play. So took out Omniscience because I'd rather my payoff spell for my discount be an actual payoff spell. Like, Omniscience is cool, but like, as much as I want to play it, I kind of need that slot to just be a high impact card itself, because I don't want a handful of stuff and then like my big spell was Omniscience and I have nothing to do with it. So yeah, unless I'm consistently netting cards in hand, then there's no real reason to put Omniscience in play. So let's try this. Okay, it's another commander that gives me plenty of time. I might also revisit this commander, because there might be some merit into casting 400 board wipes. There's some merit in trying that version of this, but I don't know. It's like, why would I? How do I do that, right? Well, okay. I'm gonna play this first. I always say use the choice lands last, but this is always going to be white, and it gives me the chance to top deck a Plains, so then I could play this. But no such luck. Oh, don't be a Bowmasters. Okay. Phew. Bullet hath been dodged. Okay, well, where were you? Why are things coming up so horribly for me? Alright, so if I play my commander, I'm not using it for, well, kind of a while, so I think I'll just lead with this. Could potentially actually do something here too, draw some cards. What? Enters the battlefield if it was cast. What? Huh. Uh-huh. You got it. Alright, didn't draw a land, so you know what that means. I think there's 38 lands in here, but I've noticed I've been getting very mana screwed. This doubles your battle cry effects? All other permanents exiled. So it exiles one, and then you flip others. Okay, so one goes in, one comes out, basically. Just like the artwork, I guess. Never seen anyone play that before. It's only creatures, right? Yeah, it's only creatures. Oh, thanks for the lands. I appreciate it. Alright, so what does this do? Mana value. Alright, so I'll swing at that. So I have 5 mana. Let's play you, and then Maze Mind's Tome. Just look for... so I decline, and I play this. So if my opponent just for some reason never plays a creature, I guess I'm kind of screwed, but like, you can't realistically do that. Opponent agrees. This actually doesn't blow up the One Ring, which is really funny. No, it doesn't work. it just doesn't work. I know, opponent is tragic. It's tragic. Sack their artifact? The card under it is gone forever if they sack it with whatever's under it. If my commander's under it, then I'm pretty sure I lose my commander forever, but I'm not sure on that. Okay, hard to pass that one up. Alright, so we got into a position that I didn't expect us to. Now it's a matter of what on earth am I doing with this position. So I lead with... I mean, there's no way I don't lead with this. Okay, that's a card with text on it. Let's do this. We're at 3. We can go up, net 1 more, like that. I can net even more, but then I'm kind of out of mana, right? I'm kind of out of mana if I do more. And I also don't need to do more. I literally do not need to do more. So let's do this. Like, this is more... 6 is the highest it gets when it comes to colorless in the cost of cards. Doesn't get more higher... Like, it just doesn't do anything more than that. Okay, I will play this for the out at some point to find it. Maybe this just instantly finds it. Does not. And then I go to discard. I discard 3. You're not great right now. On Sarah's Wings doesn't feel necessary. And Voice of the Blessed is a little too late. Let's just do that. Could have gotten rid of the land, especially with the One Ring in play, but who knows, right? I'm not gonna count with my commander because there's no guarantee I untap with it. Not even gonna bother. Okay. Sure, you see my hand? Non-creature, you get the duress, I guess. I don't really care about that. Take Farewell, yep. And then I lose what I assume is a Celestius. And then they potentially get a second duress. They do, of course they do. Wow, they didn't take the Light of Hope. My opponent just gave me, like, Omega discount by doing that. Because, again, this just discounts like crazy. So that's interesting. I feel like, well, I could have always tutored for something that is very problematic for them as an enchantment. So maybe you're better off taking that. But just as it stands, I don't necessarily agree. This exile is a threat, but like I have to leave up mana, and I'm probably not going to be doing that. It's also like merit to just not scrying when I don't have to, because I do have the One Ring. Okay, I don't think I need a land. The One Ring will very likely find a land anyways. River's Rebuke. That slows them down a lot, but it doesn't just win or anything like that. Okay, well, whatever I'm doing, it starts with this. And then, again, 4 is enough to pay for all the colorless in the observable universe. So, oh, wait a minute, I just win. I drew Approach. And this is the game I casted earlier, right? Oh, yes! Oh, oh, I did it! Oh, I did it. Oh, my favorite kind of win, dude. Oh, my goodness. I literally almost didn't see it. I was thinking about other things, and then boom. This is Utopia Sprawl? What is this? No, it's apparently nothing. Cool. That is odd. What holds priority but is not worth casting? That's very unusual. I don't know. Okay, so next turn I can play this. Blue-green's not a bad matchup, right? There's not much they can do to stop me. This looks like some kind of pseudo-green deck, because it's got a commander that cares about lands. It's like a Zuza, but blue. Blue Zuza? Bluza? Okay, so what am I doing? I guess I'm just losing to Essence Scatter or something. Put a land card from your hand at the time. You draw a card. Draw 2. Okay. That's kind of cool. I don't think I've seen this one before. Well, played. That doesn't fight. Okay, so I got to this position, which I tend to get to, but then I kind of fizzle. So I can do this, gain 6, discount everything by 6, and then I have kind of nothing because I don't have enough mana to, like, play this. Tragic. I guess I'm playing this? This seems like a pretty good spot for the One Ring, actually. I don't hate it here. That means they can't hit me. This can't blow it up, which is the big thing. Obviously, if they could, I couldn't play it. But we're not taking damage, and they're not blowing this up. And again, it's blue-green, so they might not kill Will. Might not kill Will. Might kill my will to play this game, but who knows, right? Alright, cycling a Time Warp. Love to see it. No lands in hand. Also, maybe like to see it, because it looks like, again, some kind of mono-green big spell deck. Rhystic Study. Nice, nice. Not playing that myself. I don't think this is the deck for it. Okay, didn't draw land. Surely there's one under these two. Well, there is, I guess. So I can do triple white on this and take an extra turn. Like that. And, yep, I can't pay for your heuristic study, which is tragic. I can't pay for the Dawn of Hope, which is kind of how that card works. Okay, so I discount everything by a bajillion. And what is the best thing to play right now? Probably this? But what am I doing next turn? I could just reset my opponent's board. I could just do that later, though. Yeah, why would I not play this? Like, why would I not play this here? I think the 8/8 is just solid. I don't get to keep the rest of it, but, like, this just feels like it makes a lot of sense to me. Wow, my opponent still has no lands. That's actually insane. They just growth spiraled and had nothing. That's not a land. Okay, so I can start discounting again like this. But then what? You know what? How does my opponent block? Because I have extra turns here. Okay. And then I can play this like that. I can pay for the heuristic study as well. Discount by 4. And then I have 2. Maybe I can't. I guess I can't. Oh, this heuristic study is just being really good right now. It's kind of tragic. What if I do pay for it? What happens then? Nothing good. Alright, fine. Okay. I no longer have an extra turn. So, 1, 2, nowhere near the devotion. Alright, let's just foretell. How do I get out of this study issue? I could just start playing normal spells, actually, and just not care about this heuristic study. Probably all I can do. Okay, I don't really agree with blowing up this, because all it does is incentivize me to dump mana. I don't actually like that. I would just search. Or even gain life. I have just no respect for Dawn of Hope here. And it's my card. It's funny. Alright. Just gonna swing again. See how they block, probably with the halfling. I can swing with my commander too. Don't really need it anymore. Why not? They like do some weird block, I can take out something with it. Nope, they just let it bounce. Fair enough. Can also agree with that. Counterspells are very annoying. I do kind of have an instant for this Gear Hulk, which isn't too bad. Kind of want to just play this, though. I feel like the tempo I gain from this is just, like, really good. Can also pay for the heuristic study. Of course. It does give lifelink, right? It's one of them. It's hard to keep track of this stupid thing. Yeah, it is. It is, in fact, one of them. Okay. I don't know if I'm tapping this one ring right now. Opponent gained 4. They did not use it to tutor, so problems are arising. Don't know. I might be better off just tapping the one ring to find something better than what I have now. Don't really know what that is, but whatever it is, it's not in my hand to find out. Okay, Farewell was the card I was thinking about. That's also funny. That's also kind of funny. Alright, so swing. I will tap the one ring before I Farewell, and then just exile everything. Again, if my opponent has another counterspell, I don't think anything matters, but I gotta make him have it. Alright, so that was a really good draw. It's a way to discount my stuff without needing to cast a spell for Rhystic Study. Is there any merit in casting this first? I pay for Rhystic Study, and then, like... Okay. I guess I could just do this. Yeah, so... Pay for this stupid thing. Alright, so I discount everything by 5. And then I just start playing weird stuff here. No, we lead with this. Yes. And then I pay for Rhystic Study. Okay, that is not a counterspell. Weird game, dude. Weird game. Also, my opponent did not cast Uro when they could have. I just noticed that. If this resolves, we will just snap off this. Actually, now we don't have to. Now we just don't have to. I can just go to my next turn. Keep 7. Alright. 1, 2... Alright, cool. My opponent just didn't want to wait through it. So... Yeah, wow. Ooh, man. So that Rhystic Study drew, I think, 3 or 4 cards. It's kind of a lot. Actually, that's the most I've ever seen it draw. That's kind of funny. Nowhere near as good as the One Ring, mind you. Nowhere near as good as this. But, no, it's kind of cute. I remember saying that this was going to be a card you'll see in every single deck that has blue. But I actually, now that the more I've seen this, the less I think that's true, because this is a one-on-one format. And you're not drawing that much, and sometimes it doesn't matter. If your opponent's beating you to death with like a perfect curve, you don't really, you spend your turn 3 playing this, and then like you draw some cards and probably still lose. Like it's not that great. It's phenomenal when you have 3 opponents in regular Commander, but one-on-one, this isn't as crazy, right? Whereas something like the One Ring actually probably gets crazier the less opponents you have. Because, you know, you're gaining so many resources relative to your opponents because you have less opponents. So, yeah, this is not the One Ring at all. It leaves me with 2 little commentary. Speaking of commentary, on the play with a Menadork, our chances of winning have plummeted. But it's alright. We have this into... what do we have? Shoot. I don't know. Overwhelming Splendor? I guess that's all that we have, really. This is unusual. This is highly unusual, actually. I don't really know... This must mean no additional lands in hand? Yep. Guess that is what that meant. I don't know why else you would do this. It just seems very strange to me. Very strange. Okay, I got nothing. I can pump their Gilded Goose. Hell yeah. Alright, so they probably take anything but Splendor. But who knows, right? That's what my curve looks like. Probably take the Celestius here. I don't know why you would take... Oh, you could take this too if you don't have an answer to it. But I would not see myself as taking the 8-drop that can't be played. Yeah, they just they tempo the Mana Rock. But they do know of Moment of Heroism, which doesn't actually change anything for me. I can tap that, cast... No, tap that and that. So I can cast Lyra next turn. Ugh. This feels ugly. Or not. Guess we just can't play the game. Silly me. Okay, I don't know how many ways to make treasures they have, but there must be more than there aren't. Let's play... I really want to play Lyra. It stops the attack, but I'd rather just try to go for this again. If they have a second removal spell, at this point I have 5 mana. I'm not missing my commander as much if it dies or something. It's not as bad. They have a treasure card. They actually had another treasure card too, and they just got rid of it. Really? Wow. That seems weird to me, but okay. I feel like I would just keep both of these. I don't know the hand, obviously. Okay, whenever creature you control dies, yep. There's no attack. This is an unbelievably good spot for me that I feel like I shouldn't be in. I feel like I should not have gotten to this spot. I mean, yep, I'm gonna swing at you. This is a reality. They have something? I don't know what. What do they have here? What's going on? I really have no idea. Maybe it's Terra Sunder? It could be an answer to this. I feel like it has to be an answer to this. Because otherwise, what's happening here? It has to be. Okay, it wasn't Terra Sunder. I mean, it still could be. I just didn't want to crack the treasures or something. What? Okay, so this was probably one of the worst commanders I've played. Disappointing, but it is so difficult, and it's only going to get harder when more cards come out, right? More efficient things come out. It is so difficult to cast this on 3, say go, and then have it come back to you with this in play, and then you play your 4th land, and then you start doing things like that. Sounds easy, and it sounds like the thing you want to do in every game of Commander, regardless of what your commander is, but with this commander having... So, there's 2 kinds of commanders, right? Like, major kind. I'm not saying good or bad, because that's obvious, but there's the commanders that do something immediately, right? It might not even have to be a enter the battlefield effect, but it might have an immediate impact. And then there's ones that don't. And this is one that has stone cold no impact in the game when you play it. You just play this for your turn 3, and that also means you are absolutely not playing a bunch of counter spells, right? You need to justify your commander. So, we're not playing Teferi. So, like, you need to... I gotta justify all these cards in my deck, so I have to play this. You have to untap with it, and that is... Now we're just asking a bunch of questions from the opponent, like, do they have a counter spell for it? Do they have a removal spell? If they do, it is really tough to get to 5 mana and try again. It is, like, really tough, especially when your opponent has shown you removal the first time. It's like, do you expect this to happen again? Kind of. So this is one of those commanders that does not impact the board at all. You can run Lightning Greaves, and that, like, the other one, you know, there's like some things you can run protection spells, but you'd have to wait a turn. You'd play this on 4. And the longer the game goes on, the less this is relevant, because you're putting mana in play, or you're trying to. With my 39 lands, yeah, so... well, I guess 40 lands, I got this thing. So, you know, every time a turn goes by, I've unlocked these cards now. Then the next turn, I've unlocked all of these. And then the next turn, I'm on 5. So it's like, will starts to become less and less relevant until you're, like, way up here. And these things are not realistic to cast without it. But, and there's also, like, you have to play cards like this, right? Like, you gotta play this. Or you don't actually have to play this one. This one's not really great, but you have to play, like, this. You know, hope you can swing with half of the cards in your deck. Like, if you're giving this lifelink, then you really need to actually swing with it. and it needs to survive combat. Otherwise, it's like, what are you doing? So if it doesn't survive combat and it was your way of gaining life, now that's just a whole nother issue you've presented yourself with. Like, it's just so hard. And like cards Revitalize, it replaces itself, it nets you 1 mana, and it does gain you life. That's not bad, right? If you're playing the One Ring all the time, you do actually kind of like the life gain. And that's pretty neat. It's also kind of annoying that you have to play stuff like this on your own turn, because you can't do this on your opponent's turn. So like, oh, I'll just tap out on my opponent's turn. And there are blue-white decks that love to do that. You don't have to play counterspell, nonsense, control-y, whatever, when you're playing a blue-white deck. You can just do this on your own turn and just tap out and present threats. I don't really have any sort of controlling elements at all. Teferi can tuck something, but not really that much control elements whatsoever. It's just playing big, scary stuff early. Some of the big early, or the cheap discount things I'm trying to scam out are actually not great, right? Jin-Gitaxias is just as fragile as this. You might be able to draw 7, but it goes back to your opponent because you did not flash this in, right? You cast this on your turn because you can't discount it on your opponent's turn. And again, I think I said this earlier, but I'll say it here. This gives everything flash, so it's like, oh, just run this. But you can't tap your commander, so your commander can only tap the sorcery speed, so I can't actually discount anything and use that life gain and play on my opponent's turn, which is twice as strong, right? It would actually be very good to do that, but you can't. Unfortunate. You could maybe still run Heliod and have like a different avenue of harassing your opponent, but I don't think that's realistic. Especially when some of these big things require your commander to actually even be castable. And it also costs more than my commander anyways. So it's just like, this is definitely worse than the black-red one, where you want to lose life, because losing life in black is a lot easier than gaining life in white. Especially when that life gain isn't doing anything crazy. If I was... Let's say I replaced half this deck with like the Soul Sisters package, which I sort of started with. I'm playing that, right? I've got all these weird enter the battlefield. I'm gaining 1 life here, 1 life there. But then what am I doing, right? Like, I have this in play and I tap it. I discount 5, but my deck is a bunch of cheap creatures gaining life. I don't have a payoff. You could cut the payoffs in half and get into more of a high rolly scenario where you're like hoping you have a payoff for the life gain, and if you don't, you just hope the life gain gives you enough time to play it normally. But that's probably not realistic in historic Brawl. Playing Soul Sisters and doing nothing but that is, you're gonna lose even if you're at 150 life. That happened to us not too long ago. I gained 100,000 life excuse me, and still lost because you can't truly gain infinite life or anything like that. And opponent's like, okay, you know, you have your 50 life, I'll just kill you later. It doesn't matter. Very tragic. I never actually got Teferi to untap the One Ring, which is kind of interesting. I think I've played plenty of both of these in the games I played, but there are times where I wouldn't really want to untap the One Ring, because drawing all those cards and losing all that life could actually just end up killing me before I get to use all those things I'm drawing. Because again, I'm not drawing into any slam dunk win the game, especially if will is completely out of the question and I can't have this sit in play because it just keeps dying. So it's a balance of how much life you want to gain, like how many life gain triggers you think you need, how many payoffs, and how many things you want to try to run that defend will in the meantime, which I don't really have any. As bad as it was right now, the games I did win, I found it like, actually not all of them, but some of them it's like, oh, I might not have, like, the protection spells or not having them, so I have a denser amount of things to do, just wouldn't have, I don't know, it just really didn't feel like the protection spell thing would have changed anything in the games I've lost. I should have just said that. I started backwards, I don't know why. But yeah, the X spells, again, they're both instants, but in this deck they're actually sorceries, and that's kind of annoying, especially when you have to discard. Like, oh yeah, I drew 7, but like I got to discard 5, and I still have to give my opponent a turn, and it has to come back to me, and I have to now find more ways to gain life to discount all of the stuff that I just drew, because I don't keep the discount ability for the next turn. So this has to untap. I have to untap my commander again, and then I have to find ways to discount stuff again. So, oof, you know, big oof. Kind of just not good, right? Like, this is split into 5 different directions, and we can see this just being a serious issue. And the black-red one with the discount for the big black spells was just better than discounting the big blue spells with white life gain. That's a certain. But hey, it was cool. I liked it. You know, when it does its thing, it's super fun. You know, you're just like, oh, discount a 3-mana Seagate Restoration, a 2-mana Kiora Best of Sea God. Like, it's pretty cool. Just doesn't come together nearly enough to justify it. You can just tweak this, and if you do, you're probably going to be tweaking it a lot. Adding a lot of what I would assume is blue spells earlier, like counter spells interaction, even maybe bounce spells. To like bounce your own One Ring later in the game. Someone scooped to that actually, which is hilarious. I bounced it with Sublime Epiphany. Wasn't a really great spot actually, even doing that, but they gave up because they got the ring again. It's not going to kill them because they bounced it. It's like, yeah, but I'm not in a good spot anyways. You know, like everything's expensive and I can't gain life, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, all right, that's enough tangent. It's been like 10 minutes. Let me know what you thought about this list. It is fun when it works, but good luck having it consistently work. It's not going to have a really great win rate, especially with what you expect to play against, right? So, yep, that's it. Like, comment, and do be subscribing. Trying to climb those numbers. I got rookie numbers. We don't want those, so do that. All right, see you.